Good morning, Joe 508. It is the day after the midterm, so today is the 6th of July. And I know some of you feel like you're kind of licking your wounds after that midterm, but yeah, don't worry about it. The whole point of the midterm was to challenge you a little bit intellectually, okay? And hopefully you learned a lot as you were forced to dive into the material. And yeah, you guys are all A and B students, and that was proven to us when we looked at your journal paper assignments, which were across the board phenomenal. You know, it was amazing. It was a whole different format for all of you, and you guys all really did amazing stuff. Really cool ideas, by the way. You know, the homelessness project. You know, lots of really neat things on music and exercise, and yeah, it was neat. Some of you did interventions, some of you did the epidemiology. It was clear you understood what was going on, and it was really cool. And some days you're going to write your own journal papers and be published in a major journal. So, you know, back to the midterm. Again, the whole point of the exercise is to ask you to go back into the readings, okay, and the videos, and challenge yourself once again. And it was definitely a learning process, okay? Yeah, certainly some of you didn't do as well as you wanted to, and you can see that by looking at the distribution that Julia sent out. We had a wide distribution. I get the same wide distribution when I teach my undergraduate classes. It doesn't really matter when you have a larger class. It's kind of distribution that is society. You know, some of us are great test takers. Some of us are great writers. You know, no one assignment defines you as a person. So really serious. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. And we have waited for everybody to take the exam, and now you can go back in and see what the correct answers were to the ones you got wrong. And so Julia sent something out about that. Okay, so so I promise you we're so close to be done with the biology, but I think you guys all have a real strong feeling about stress, about the fight or flight sympathetic nervous system. Okay, and then we have also the second limb to that stress response, which is the hypothalamic pituitary axis, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or the HPA axis, and we know how when we are challenged, okay, the Sapolsky zebra and lion, that the amygdala informs the hypothalamus that we had better get our butts in gear, or else we're going to become the next meal, okay? And that unfortunately we tap into that very same thing through humanity's psychological stressors, society's psychological stressors. And so we're going to now be embarking on how to mitigate that, okay, which a lot of you did in your papers, okay? We do have one last biology thing. So we see here we're going to talk about sociality this week as well, okay? So important. This is an amazing study, but we're going to start here with psychoneurimunnology, okay? Now this again is some hardcore biology. Don't worry about it. Just, you know, read it and absorb what you can absorb, okay? And we see that we can just look at the titles, and we see right here we have inflammatory cytokines. So this is maybe a new thing, maybe not, okay? But when we look across the board, I don't care what system we are going to be evaluating in terms of age-related disease, you'll see that another major contributing factor is inflammation. Whether it's osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, okay, in our joints, whether it's all different forms of vascular disease, okay, so it's cardiac disease, stroke, these are inflammatory processes, okay. We look at GI diseases, okay. I'm sure a couple of you maybe have Crohn's disease or irritable bowel syndrome, okay. It's now known that these are inflammatory diseases, okay, autoimmune diseases. We look at the diseases of the skin, inflammatory. Even cancer is an inflammatory disease, okay? So we are now going to embark, and we're going to look at stress, okay? So we see right here, prolonged stress, okay? Right here, and how it affects inflammation, okay? And we'll look down here at another great overview, Okay, so we didn't go to the full article by Sapolsky about primates in being inflammatory, and just the inflammatory reflex. Okay, and this is how the nervous system is actually directly interacting with the immune system. Okay, so this is a key concept, and we call this, as we see down here, psychoneuroimmunology. And the concept of the power of positive thinking, how it can affect your immune system, or even more importantly, it's really the power of negative thinking. Okay, and how when we do have severe anxiety, severe stress, that it directly impacts our immune function. Okay, acutely, we all know that we can use a variety of the glucocorticoid. Okay, we have all had cortisol injections if you get to a certain age, like me and my knees and backs. Okay, to reduce the inflammation. Okay, so it also means that when you're severely stressed acutely, that it shuts down the inflammatory system, so you can become easy victim to some type of bacterial infection. Okay, now there's a really good chart in this particular article right here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and get into it. And so let's see, I'm going to get my face out of the way. I'm going to get a little bigger here, and we'll come down here. And it starts looking at what we're talking about here. Okay, so we see the brain, we see the adrenal gland. We've already discussed that. Okay, adrenocorticotropin. This is the ACTH. Okay, we see that we release catecholamines, glucocorticoids. Okay, so this is everything we've talked about. There's a new part here where we're talking about the sympathetic versus parasympathetic. Okay, all these hormones that are released into the bloodstream directly affect our immune system cells. And here's a whole plethora of these immune system cells. Okay, the macrophages. Okay, the natural killer cells, the T cells, and there's different types of T cells. And in the end, based on this type of, we see right here, there we go, there's my hand. So if we go the other way, my camera stopped working with us. Okay, we look over here. Okay, and we can see that you can even have a pro-inflammatory situation or an anti-inflammatory situation based on the interaction of these immune system cells. Then they get in here and they talk about what's going on. How does this happen? Okay, well, what happens is all of these hormones that are released in the blood bind to receptors, and then this is called the transcription factor. So this is going in a different level of modulating the DNA. Okay, and we talked about epigenetics. Okay, so this is something separate. So we have the genes. When are we going to read the genes? Well, based on the hormones that are in our bloodstream, this guy is the production manager. Okay, this is called a transcription factor, and it factors whether or not we're going to transcribe that gene for these inflammatory signals or not. Okay, and that's how that system works. Okay, so that's a basic overview, and all of these articles talk about this. Quick analysis of the Special Center at UCLA for Psychoneurimunnology, and then this is a really cool study where we looked at the epidemiology based on Psychoneurimunnology. Okay, so that's that one, and then how exciting for us. Okay, we leave the biology. Okay, and sorry, I went into the wrong one here. And we talk about probably the most factor. In fact, the epidemiology has proven this out. The most important factor is sociality. And this is a great study about sociality. Here's a quick overview right here of the Grant and Gluck studies. Okay, and then right here, this is an amazing study sponsored by EM that talks about loneliness in aging population. Okay, and it is the most important factor in terms of reducing stress, improving health outcomes, is sociality. Okay, so and if you click on this, it takes you right to again this PDF file. It's all about loneliness and the aging population. So it's a great, easy read. Okay, all right. So that being said, okay, get in there. Okay, into the discussions. have fun with these, okay? And don't worry about the midterm, okay? It was a great exercise. It forced you to get back in there and review the material one last time. Okay, the good thing about this class is it's not cumulative. So the second midterm is all new stuff, okay? Alrighty. So that being said, good luck, and we'll see you guys next time.